And this one is officially E85 compatible. You'll see there are these kind of notches on it, and those will fit into holes kind of on this bracket. And when you rotate it, it just rotates the entire bracket without bending it or nicking it or anything like that. What's interesting is the amount of corrosion on these, I think they're aluminum bits, compared to the new one. What's going on, guys? Donovan here. It's been a while since I've made a video, so apologies if I'm a little awkward in front of a camera. Well, I probably usually am, but anyways. Charger's behind me. So I ran into a problem with this guy recently where when I filled up the tank, I would get a surface fuel level sensor error on the dash, and I don't know if the car is doing it right now. I haven't driven it in a while, but so even if the car was full, it would drop to 0, and in general it was just giving me like inaccurate fuel level readings, and on top of that gave me a check engine light. I ordered up a new drop-in pump from a company called 797 Performance, and this one is officially E85 compatible. So far I haven't had problems with E85 and storing this car with E85 in the fuel tank. I honestly don't know for sure if the problem I'm having is due to like running the car on E85 for, you know, a few years now, but I haven't run into any drivability problems. Even with the check engine light, the car drives perfectly fine. So we're gonna get this pump in. I'm gonna put the specs on the screen because I don't really remember off the top of my head, but I got it from 797 Performance, and links to everything will be in the description below. All right, so in the Chargers, so there are two fuel pumps. There's the main fuel pump, which is on the driver's side under the passenger seat, and then there's an auxiliary one on the passenger side. To get to it, you're pretty much just gonna pull up on this seat on both sides. I think it's one piece across the whole kind of bench, so you'll just pull up from like underneath. Yep, and then once you do that, the pump is under here, and once you pop this guy up, I just slipped, you know, the edge of this thing underneath there and carefully pried up. It comes up really easily. You don't need to use any force. You'll see the plug for the fuel pump here. You'll want to remove this guy. Make sure when you pull this thing off, you don't pull on any of these wires too much. So now the thing holding the fuel pump in is this ring here. What it does is it kind of rotates, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a pain in the butt. They're on there pretty snug. What a lot of people do is use a flathead and like hammer the edges to get it to rotate. I really don't like to do that because you beat up this securing ring, and on top of that, you know, you're hitting metal on metal next to a gas tank, and I'd rather not throw sparks near gas fumes. So instead, let me show you guys this tool that works perfectly for this. So this is the tool for the fuel pump bracket removal. So this thing's kind of nice. It's only about 20 bucks. I got it on Amazon. So I'll show you really quick. You can just kind of connect a breaker bar to it or a ratchet. And if you follow me real quick, I'll show you how it goes onto this bracket. Hopefully I can stay out of the way. You'll see there are these kind of notches on it, and those will fit into holes kind of on this bracket. And when you rotate it, it just rotates the entire bracket without bending it or nicking it or anything like that. So I highly recommend just buying this tool. It was only like 20 bucks. I used it on the Hellcat as well, so it works for both cars. I'll put an Amazon affiliate link in the description if you want to grab this specific one. Like I said, it'll work if you're doing it on either a Challenger or a Charger, and probably the other Dodge cars as well. So grab this if you're interested. We got the fuel pump out. It's kind of a pain in the butt. There's this little thing that sits on the top of the pump that's connected to an orange hose, and it's like connected like that, and then there's another hose that kind of goes into this elbow, And to take this off, you have to take this like blue plastic piece out of the back, and it's really tough to do. We ended up just obliterating it. So I went to O'Reilly's and grabbed one that isn't an elbow. So I'm gonna see if this works with the new pump, because essentially I think the way this was supposed to go on was like this. So we're gonna try a straight one instead. That way we're not there's no reason to have that elbow there otherwise. Also, looking at the fuel hat, there didn't look to be anything crazy in the fuel pump. There's nothing exciting, or in the fuel tank, nothing exciting going on in there. But what was interesting is the amount of corrosion on these, I think they're aluminum bits. You can just see how beat up they look compared to the new one. I'm not sure if that's from the E85. I know sometimes the E85 doesn't have the same like additives for keeping the fuel tank healthy and clean as regular gasoline. So we got a new kind of hat thing here. Okay, so the straight one worked. The way this is gonna work is this end, this male, I'm trying to focus on it. That male end will go into, excuse me, this orange tube here. Now there's a little bit of wiring we have to do. It's really straightforward wiring. They send you black and white photos for colored wires, but at least they have pin locations, because it differs for 2017 plus cars. So all right guys, so the car is on. Remember when you install the fuel pump to cycle it a few times? So to cycle it, you just put the car in like run mode, but don't put your foot on the brake and actually start it. Just like put the car in run and turn it off. So you can see I'm getting fuel level on there. So I'm gonna reset the check engine light for service fuel sensor, and hopefully that fixes it. But with that being said, the putting it back together is pretty straightforward. Everything goes in easier than it came out, really. What ended up working was this part, this like straight adapter, and we removed this one that came stock on the car, and I didn't end up needing these. So I'll show you the part number that I actually needed was that Dorman part. I'm gonna put the seat back together, take the car for a spin, see if that check engine light goes away. That's pretty much it. I'll give you guys kind of a more holistic review of the fuel pump once I get some more miles on the car and see how the car behaves. But I mean, it runs, and that's all I know right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Remember to click that subscribe button. And once again, this part makes this job 10 times easier. It'll cut the time to install this fuel pump in half. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.
Supercharged white light limit on the inside badge on the side. We only have a Scat Pack